The Rothschilds. That name ring a bell? The Rothschilds. Well, there's two The Rothschilds, right? There's the House of Mouton and the House of Lafite. Both of them are like the best at what they do. They're both amazing, both iconic, both incredible. Well, you know, and I'm trying to remember if we did a video in the 2010 in the past. Memory serves. I'm trying to recall. We do so many of these. But I'm pretty sure I've told the story before. This is Domaine de Baron-Arc. And Domaine de Baron-Arc is Rothschild South. Mouton Rothschild South, right? So we're down in Limoux, which is over near like Carcassonne. So in the very south of France. It's very nice there. It's very sunny. It's a wonderful place to get away. It's very pleasing to the eye. There's cassoulet, good seafood. You're close to Spain. It's all good. So if you were the Rothschilds, why wouldn't you buy a property down there and set up shop? And that's what they did. They did this and quite some time ago, actually. So this has been going on for decades, Domaine de Baron-Arc. But, you know, they've always played it pretty low key here in America because they've always been, you know, Bordeaux-centric here. Although Baron-Arc has a wonderful following throughout Europe. Nowadays, the Rothschild family has made a more concerted effort to get people a little more involved with the whole Baron-Arc thing, especially as the property matures, especially as the winemaking is matured, and especially as we get into a newer realm of wines that is really particularly exciting. So in front of me right now, we do have the 2020 Domaine de Baron-Arc Limoux Rouge. Technically, they're in the area of Limoux, which actually has kind of a bit of a sparkling wine mojo going for it. Chardonnay became really popular here in the 90s. They do really great sparkling wine from here. Technically, sparkling wine was created here. Don't tell Moesh and Don that. Well, they already know, but like, we shouldn't, yeah, we probably shouldn't say too much about it. Other than the fact that sparkling wine, Method Champenoise, was created here. So it's Method Limousinoise. Yeah. But what a lot of people didn't know is there was great capacity to produce amazing red wine here. So what the Rothschilds did is they planted a bunch of grapes. Well, first they planted like the Bordeaux stuff, Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Malbec. They also planted Grenache and Syrah because this is the classic Mediterranean area for these grape varieties. And their results were kind of telling. You know, the Grenache and the Syrah handled themselves very well. But the Bordeaux varieties ended up doing fantastically in these soils. And accordingly, they started making a wine, a red wine, the Limoux Rouge, that was geared specifically more towards those Bordeaux varieties, but with a little Mediterranean spice, a little, you know, like a little bit of that in there, right? And that little bit of that comes from Syrah. So the Syrah made the final blend. There used to be Grenache in here. I don't know if they've been putting Grenache in it recently, but the Syrah still makes the cut here, a small percentage. And so what you have here is a classic Bordeaux blend. Merlot forward in the 2020 with a good dollop of Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Malbec, and then some Syrah. Barrels? Well, of course, where do they get the barrels from? Mouton frigging Rothschild. That's pretty cool, huh? Technical team? Mouton frigging Rothschild. Right, so you got everybody together that produces those great $100, $500, $600 iconic wines working down south, because I'm sure a lot of the Mouton winemakers don't mind heading south for a couple weeks, you know what I'm saying? Like a little getaway, like a little, and at the same time, they're making world-class wine, which is what we have here. We have world-class red wine coming from the House of Mouton way down south. And it is different. I think this would shock people in a blind tasting. This is, oh, you dorks. Everybody that does blind tastings, you know who you are. You're watching this and you know you do blind tastings. You want a ringer? No one will guess what the hell it is. You'll be amazing. The wine tastes great. It'll probably win the event. And what will they guess though, right? That's the question. They might guess Bordeaux, right? You know, so your first whiff is, actually even though it's mostly Merlot here, I think it's 40% Merlot in this blend. The Cabernet is really the graphite, that lead pencil, the cassis character of Cabernet Sauvignon is really coming to the fore in the aromatics today. Ooh. Cave. That is slinky good. You know what? On the palate, the Merlot does a big Hey Sailor. On the palate, I would almost think, because the Franc is quiet, but I almost get like this east side of Pomerol type vibe, like Golden Triangle Pomerol type vibe here. Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm a Bordeaux guy. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
No. The reason why I jumped in.
Ow, you're hurting me.
Because I took this home over the weekend.
Oh, shenanigans.
The 10.
The 10.
Yeah. Holy crap. This is so good right now. I mean, I was like, I was kind of walking the store. I had a steak. I'm like, what am I going to drink? I don't feel like Bordeaux. I was just in Bordeaux for the whole week. But I kind of want a Bordeaux style wine. And I kind of was walking, and I was going by the Rhone section. And then I saw this, and I'm like, I think I'm going to try this wine.
And
blown away.
You did like one of these one of these?
Yeah, I kind of.
Or no, you didn't, or maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe, okay.
Anyways, and then when I saw that you were doing this one, now this one's open, I can compare the two.
You can compare the two.
I can compare the two, but man, for $35.
Yeah, what they're creating is like a sunny style of Bordeaux.
Yeah.
Think of Bordeaux, constant sunshine, which, it's sunny in Bordeaux pretty much nowadays all the time, but this has a different mojo to it. This is like take classic like right bank Bordeaux and like toss like a little Rhone kicker in it, like the old days, maybe like that Palmer wine. That like the $200 Palmer with the Syrah in it.
That's kind of actually the century wine.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like that. This kind of reminds me a little bit of that wine, although at, 20% the price or something.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. We have both vintages, right? So we did a library thing. What Trish took home was the library wine that we sourced directly from them. Chateau Direct, perfect condition. Look at it. It's all like beautiful. The 2010, great vintage, incredible price. And then we have the current release, the 2020, which is also phenomenal. Like 94 points Dunnick. He's like, amaze your friends in a blind tasting, getting back to it again. And these are just wonderful, wonderful red wines.
No.
Mouton's not gonna make swag.
No, for sure.
Yeah, ridiculous gear from that house, from the Mouton Rothschild house. These are must-haves. If you're a wine dork and you love fine wine, these are absolute must-haves. You have to geek out on these because obviously, as you can tell, we certainly do.
Yeah.